What first comes to mind when I say the best mechanical keyboard? Perhaps it's something that doesn't have to be modded, something cheap, or something that looks really good. And understandably, not all keyboards fit that criteria. But what if I told you there might be a keyboard that has all the points mentioned above? I'm saying the sound, the feel, the looks, the price, the modability, and the beginner friendliness. For those who don't know, my name is Kuzma, and I'm on the quest to find the best mechanical keyboards. And this one might just be it. The keyboard I'm talking about is the Nuphy GEM80. A somewhat budget mechanical keyboard that has the potential to be one of the best keyboards on the market. Now, Nuphy is known for making low-profile keyboards, and this is their first entry into the custom keyboard space. And let me tell you, they're starting it off strong. We'll get into the details that make this keyboard so good, and also compare to some other keyboards it is competing against. Quick disclaimer, this keyboard was sent to me by Nuphy for my honest review. However, this is my opinion. Nuphy did not see the video before I released it, and all of these thoughts are purely my opinion. In this video, I will be reviewing the full build kit, which includes the keyboard along with some switches and keycaps. Look at the box, it is very fancy and premium. It has all the specs and info on it, along with minimal branding. I don't like begging, but this channel is so close to 600 subscribers, and as I mentioned, I'll do a massive giveaway if we reach it by the end of this month to celebrate. It would make my day if you subscribed. Thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed, and let's continue with the video. Moving on to the unboxing. Unlike other keyboards, this one is packaged in a very luxurious manner. At the top you get a little slip with information, and below that is the keyboard itself, wrapped in a microfiber cloth. Underneath the keyboard there are two boxes. The top one has all the materials you will ever need. Different gaskets, screwdrivers, screws for a top mount. Yes, the keyboard can even be top mounted. The bottom box is a very nice cold cable, the quality you get from like a $40 one you buy separately. However, this one is included. Taking a look at the keyboard itself, it is nice. By default it comes with an FR4 plate, but you can also add additional ones for like $15. I will have a comparison sound test of all the plates later in the video. There are 3 switches holding the plate. These switches are all the options that you can get with the keyboard. The red and the green ones are linears, and the yellow is a tactile. I'll have the specs on the screen, so feel free to pause the video. These switches are made in a collaboration with Gateron, and they're very well factory lubed. Now I will disassemble the keyboard to show you what is inside. This would be a good time to mention that the back of the keyboard is made from plastic, and while I could see this being a drawback for some people, I personally like it because it feels high quality and the keyboard is already heavy enough. While I unscrew the keyboard, let's talk about its price. It starts off at $149 US, which is fairly pricey for a bare bones. But the upside is that you get to add on switches and keycaps for only $30 more. This is why I consider this keyboard to be fairly beginner friendly, along with the mounting and sound flexibility it offers. Overall, if you decide to pick up the full build, it'll run you about $200. I personally considered this to be on the more expensive side of budget, but Azum TKL, a direct competitor, starts off at $180 US for a bare bones. Not mentioning that it's a group buy, meaning that you'll be likely waiting some time before receiving it. Here we can take a closer look at the gasket options that come with the keyboard. It is not only by type, it is also by the stiffness of the gasket, so you get 3 of each type. Each one of these gaskets provide a slightly different typing feel, giving beginners as well as people more advanced in the keyboard hobby something to experiment with. This is personally my first keyboard with this level of customizability. There's also a little 2.4 GHz dongle for connectivity. Now, here's what the keyboard is composed of. First we have an aluminum top housing, and then an FR4 plate with flex cuts. Then we have lots and lots and lots of foam. The most interesting of them being the case silicone dampener. It has a very interesting pattern to it. I suppose it is to deflect the sound and make the keyboard sound better. Then, after I reassemble the keyboard off camera, we can take a look at the switches I will use for this build. These are the Nuphy Mint switches. I love the way they're factory lubed, and it is difficult to say, but these might be my new favorite switches. The only problem I have with them is that they're a little bit too light. I sometimes accidentally press them because of their light activation, and they also sometimes double type. However, this might be only my personal issue. However, Nuphy, if you're watching this, please send me some more. I love them. And as everything we've seen so far, the switches are also very well packaged. The switches have a little paper with a nice design. I will definitely be keeping this. And as we remove it, we can see something interesting. The switches are aligned using a styrofoam plate, something I haven't seen any other company do. I suppose that is done to prevent the switches from flying all over the place in the box. A very nice touch. Now it is time to talk about the downside of this keyboard. Personally, the biggest downside for me is that they do not have a white variant of this keyboard, which is very strange because they have colors such as pink and lilac, but no white. Another deal breaker might be the price. As I have talked earlier, this is not that much compared to competitors, but there are still many more keyboards which are maybe slightly worse, but still good keyboards for the price tag of below $200. Let's take the Feker Galaxy 80 for example. It goes for around $100 to $110 and provides decent quality, of course not top of the line quality, but it's twice as cheap. However, if you have some spare money to spend, this, in my opinion, is the best keyboard you can buy right now. It offers so much flexibility in mounting, layout, modding, sound, and more. Those details is what really makes a keyboard so good and so fun to use. Ultimately, the decision is up to you, but I have left all the links in the description, and I will be leaving you guys with a sound test of all the keyboards in its place.